Good evening everyone, my name is Roslyn Kalagi from P1722 for O2P. I will discuss the article 1252 to 1255. Article 1252, he who has a various debt of the same kind in favor of one and the same creditor may declare at the time of making the payment to each of them the same must be applied, unless the party so stipulate, or when the application of payment is made by the party for whose benefit the term has been constituted. Application should not be made as to debt which are not yet due. If the debtor accept from the creditor a receipt in which an application of payment is made, the former cannot complain of the same unless there is a cause of invalidating the contract. So before I discuss the Article 1252, may I differentiate first what are the special forms of payment. First, application of payment or imputation of payment in Article 1252 to 1254. Second, cession of payment or assignment in Article 1255. Third, dation in payment which already discussed in Article 1245. Fourth, tender of payment and consignation in Article 1256 to 1261. So, I will discuss the first and second special forms of payment. So, let's define first what is application of payments. Application of payments is the designation of the debt to which should be applied the payment made by a debtor who has a various debt of the same kind in favor of one and the same creditor. It is important to know the rules of application of payment. Otherwise, di natin malalaman kung alin ba sa maraming utang ang nai-extinguish. Take note, application of payment involves several debts, meaning dalawa o mas marami pa, tapos same creditors and debtor. For example, Lor owes Nai 1 million pesos in another transaction. Lor owes Nai 3 million pesos in another. Lor owes Nai 1 million pesos due on October 24, 2019. Sabay ang pera niya ay 4 million pesos only and not enough to pay all his debt. So how he can apply the 4 million pesos? Hindi natin malalaman kung saang utang niya i-apply ang bayad niya unless we learn the rules on application of payment. Requisites of application of payments. First, there must be one debtor and one creditor. Just like in our example earlier, the debtor is Lor and the creditor is Nai. Second, there must be two or more debts. So Lor have a 3 debt to Nai. Third, the debt must be of the same kind. Yes, they are all the same kind, although magkaiba yung maturity date nila. Fourth, the debts to which payment made by the debtor has been applied must be due. So, all the debt must be due on October 24, 2019. Fifth, the payment made must not be sufficient to cover all the debt. Yes, hindi enough yung pera niya to pay all his debt. Kasi ang pera niya is 4 million pesos, ang utang niya kay Nai is 5 million pesos. So, how can apply the payment of Lor to Nai? Now, let's go back to Article 1252. All the requisite that I said earlier is all in the Article 1252. So the question is how application of payment is made. So according to Article 1252, he who has a various debt of the same kind in favor of one and the same creditor may declare at the time of making the payment to which of them the same must be applied. So, he who has a various of debt. So meaning, ang tao ay may maraming utang. Si debtor makes designation kung saan niya ibabayad ang pera niya. And take note in the word of at the time of making the payment. So, application must be made at the time when the payment by the debtor is made. It talks about the during such time na nagbabayad siya, not after. Pero paano pag di ginawa ni debtor? Basta na lang siya nagbayad without designating kung saang utang na ilalagay. Halimbawa, nagbayad lang si Lor, di niya sinabi kung saang utang niya ilalagay, sa first ba, second, or sa third na utang. If that happened, the answer is on the second paragraph. If the debtor accept from the creditor a receipt in which an application of the payment is made, the former cannot complain of the same unless there is a cause of invalidating the contract. Pag di ginawa ni debtor, si creditor make it how by stating in the receipt that he or she issues unless there is a cause or invalidating the contract. If hindi naman pumayag or walang consent si debtor sa pag-apply ni creditor ng payment, or if debtor consent and accept the receipt was vitiated like there have a fraud, violence, or force and intimidation, pag may ganyan, hindi daw valid yung ginawang application ni creditor or hindi nag-object si debtor. Tibang gamitin ang application of payment to the debt that are not yet due? So the general rule, debt must be due and demandable. So sinasabi dyan, ang requisite, ang kailangan dyan ay due na yung debt. Pero may exemption. Unless first, there is a stipulation that the debtor may so apply, or the same is made by the party for whose benefit the period has been constituted. So the exemption of general rule. So now, I will discuss the rules of application of payment. So a debtor who has several different debt may make part of payment is to which that is paid the ruler as follow. First, the debtor has the first choice. He must indicate at the time of making payment and not afterwards, okay? Nagbabayad si debtor, kailangan sabihin niya alin ba sa mga utang niya ilalagak ang payment niya. Second, the right to make the application once exercised is irrevocable unless the creditor consent to the change. So, hindi na pwedeng baguhin or mabawi unless si creditor i-waive niya yung rights niya para baguhin yung consent. Third, it is clear from the word may rather than the word shall that the debtor's right to apply payment is not mandatory but merely derogatory. If the debtor does not apply payment, the creditor has the subsidiary right to make the designation by specifying in the receipt which debt is being paid. Fourth, if the creditor has not also made the application, or if the application is not valid, the debt which is most onerous to the debtor among those due should be deemed to have been satisfied. Let's give an example. Maximor owes Hurt as follows. Una, may utang siyang 1,500 pesos which is payable on September 5. Then he has another debt, 1,200 pesos payable on September 20. Then a specific horse worth 10,000 pesos to be delivered on September 20. And let's say 1,000 pesos payable on the October 15. So, iisa-isahin natin to. So, on September 20, si Maximor, nagbayad siya ng, let's say, 1,500 pesos. So, now, ano yung pwedeng gawin ni Maximor as a use of application of payment? The debtor may apply the 1,500 pesos to debt A, which is 1,500 pesos, or to the debt B, to a portion of debt A, okay? So, yung 1,500 pesos, pwede daw i-apply ni debtor sa utang niyang 1,500 pesos in exact amount, or kung ayaw niya doon, pwede naman sa debt B na 1,200 pesos na payable on September 20 kasi due pa lang eh. Doon niya lang pwedeng i-apply. So may tira pang 300 pesos, pwede niyang i-apply sa debt A na 1,500 pesos. So but can he apply sa utang niyang 1,000 pesos payable on October 15? So hindi pa, kasi sabi natin ang kailangan ang debt ay due and demandable para magamit natin yung application of payment. So how about sa specific horse worth 10,000 pesos? Pwede niya bang i-partial payment yon? So isa sa mga requisite of application payment is kailangan the debt must be on the same kind. So ito is delivery of a horse or thing. So hindi ito applicable sa letter C. So however, if the debtor is paid only 1,000 pesos, in that case, can he choose to apply the payment to the 1,500 pesos na utang niya? So, ang sagot dyan is no, because he cannot choose to apply his payment to the 1,500 pesos because he can be compelled to receive partial payment kasi due and demandable kasi yung gusto niya. 1,000 pesos lang So, hindi pwede. Kung kanina pwede kasi more than siya sa debt B and exact siya sa debt A. Papasukan mo pa rin ang principal natin ng ang payment should be complete, hindi pwede ang partial payment. So, in this case, demandable lang ang 1,500 pesos. So, 1,000 pesos cannot be paid and compelled the creditor to accept it. Okay? So, let's proceed in Article 1253. If the debt produces interest, payment of the principal should not deem to have been made until the interest have been covered. It is very self-explanatory. Sa pagbabayad naman talaga, unang babayaran ng interest before yung principal. Take note, this provision is a mandatory. Hindi pwedeng sabihin ni debtor na sa principal niya muna ibabayad ang unang payment niya. Huwag muna sa interest. Pag ganun, pwedeng tumanggi si creditor. Unless i-waive ni creditor ang right niya dito. So meaning, okay lang sa kanya na sinabi ni debtor na sa principal niya ibabayad ang unang payment. Basta, both parties are agreed with this agreement. For example, Sabrina owes Ice 10,000 pesos with 12% interest. On the due date, Sabrina rendered 10,000 pesos only. Kulang pa kasi nga 10,000 pesos yung principal. Nawawala yung 12% interest. So, dapat ang utang niya ay nasa 11,200 pesos. So, how can we apply the payment? So sinasabi nga ni Article 1253, una muna sa interest na 1,200 pesos, then yung natitirang 8,800 pesos will be applied to the principal account. So, nagkakaroon ng balance na 1,200 pesos. So, itong 1,200 pesos ay hindi interest amount. Ito ay yung principal obligation. In Article 1254, when the payment cannot be applied in accordance with the preceding rules, or if application cannot be inferred from other circumstances, the debt which is most onerous to the debtor among those due should be deemed to have been satisfied. The debt due are of the same nature and burden, the payment shall be applied to all of them proportionately. So, ito na yung sinasabing by operation of law. So, in this article, in case we don't have application of payment made by the debtor and the creditor, then the payment should be applied to the most onerous debt. Pero kung ang debt ay nasa same nature and burden, all of them proportionately. So, what is onerous mean? So, in this, if the debt is more onerous than other, if is more burdensome to the debt. So, how to determine if what is more burdensome? Actually, there is no really fixed rule in determining debt is onerous to the debtor. Since the condition of being more burdensome is a quick question of relative appreciation, walang general rule or fixed rule. It depends on the comparing of the condition. So, what are the example of burdensome or onerous debt? Accordingly, ito yung decided cases na sinasabi ng Supreme Court na mas burdensome ang mga ito. So, first, an interest-bearing debt than a non-interest-bearing debt. So, sinasabi ang interest-bearing debt is more onerous than a non-interest-bearing debt. So, kahit na mas matanda or mas nauna yung non-interest-bearing debt, mas burdensome ang may mga interest. Second, a debt as a sole debtor is more onerous than a solidary debtor. So meaning, exclusive that's needed more onerous. Third, all things are being equal, older debt are more onerous. Pag ganon, older debts are more onerous kahit walang interest, basta nauna yung unang utang, mas onerous yun. Fourth, debt secured by a mortgage or by pledge are more onerous than unsecured debt. Syempre, kasi pag di ka nakakapagbayad, makukuha or mapuporclose yung property mo. Fifth, of two interest-bearing debt, the one with higher rate is more onerous. Syempre, kung alin yung mas mataas ang interest, yun yung mas onerous. And lastly, an obligation with a penalty clause. Syempre, mas onerous siya kaysa sa walang penalty clause. Rules in case no application of payment has been voluntarily made by the parties. First, apply to the most onerous debt, so this is applicable in case due and demountable debt are of different nature. Second, if the debts are of the same nature and burden, application should be made to all proportionately. So before we proceed to the next provision, may I just remind you, burdensome rule does not apply when the debtor has made application of payment. So for example, to make it be understandable, in the debt of the same nature and burden, application should be made to all proportionately. For example, Toby owes 1.2 million pesos to Michiko. In another transaction, Toby owes 600,000 pesos to Michiko. So Toby, without making any application of payment, nagbayad siya ng 300,000 pesos only to Michiko. So the question is, how should the payment be applied? Presuming that both debt are the same nature, and the answer is the payment should be applied proportionately. So how proportionally do? Sa unang utang na 1.2 million pesos and 600,000 pesos na utang, makikita mo yung ratio nila is 2:1. So the ratio should be preserved. So sa 300,000 pesos na bayad niya, dapat 200,000 pesos ibabayad niya sa 1.2 million pesos na utang niya at 100,000 pesos naman sa 600,000 pesos na utang niya. So yung 1.2 million pesos ay magiging 1 million pesos na lang at yung 600,000 pesos na utang niya ay magiging 500 pesos na lang. So ayun ang proportionately. According to Article 1255, the debtor may cede or assign his property to his creditors in payment of his debt. This cession, unless there is stipulation to the contrary, shall only release the debtor from the responsibility for the net proceeds of the thing assigned. The agreements which, on the effect of the cession, are made between the debtor and his creditor shall be governed by the special laws. So let's define first what is payment by cession. Payment by cession or assignment in favor of creditors is another special forms of payment. It is the assignment or abandonment of all the properties of the debtor for the benefit of his creditors in order that the latter may sell the same and apply the proceeds thereof to the satisfaction of their credits. So again, this is a process kung saan lahat ng property ni debtor ay itatransfer sa mga creditors para ang mga creditor may sell them. Ibebenta yung kit at yung kita para sa pagbebenta ng properties ni debtor at yun yung ibabayad sa mga utang. And also, it is an assignment or abandonment of all lahat ng properties, so may pagkakaiba ito sa dation o payment kasi ang sabi dito ay of all the properties kasi in dation not all necessary properties. So what are the requisites of payment by cession? First, there must be 2 or more creditors. Second, the debtor must be insolvent. So either partially or completely basta insolvent na siya, kaya kukunin na yung lahat ng property niya para ibenta as payment sa utang. Third, the assignment must be involve all the properties of the debtor. So dapat lahat ng property kasi nga nagiging insolvent na nga. Lastly, cession must be accepted by the creditors, syempre dahil hindi mo ito may impose sa mga unwilling na creditors. So meaning, this provision talks about the voluntary or contractual assignment kasi actually, assignment is classified as legal assignment or yung by from the word itself by law, by provision of law or by operation of law, yung assignment publishing voluntary assignment with which is ito yung voluntary assignment under Article 1255. So what are the effect of assignment or payment by cession? First, unless there is stipulation to the contrary, the assignment does not make the creditors the owners of the property of the debtor. From the word itself, assignment, meaning yung creditor will be just merely an assignees. They will become assignees. Bibigyan sila ng authority to sell the properties. Otherwise, if an ownership already property is transferred to the creditor, then it will be the same as the shown in payment right under Article 1245. Second, the debtor is released from his obligation only up to the amount of the net proceeds of the sale of the property assigned. Unless there is stipulation to the contrary, the balance remain to be collectible, yung debtor magiging liable pa rin siya if there be a balance. After ibenta yung lahat ng properties niya, meron pa rin siyang babayarang utang as to those remaining balance na hindi nabayaran. So for example, Max Payne owes Maxwell, Maxwell, and more in total amount of 2 million pesos, pero yung assets niya hindi sapat to pay all her debt. With the consent of her creditors, Maxwell, Maxwell, and more, Max Payne, she may assign her properties to them para ibenta nila yung property ni Max Payne to satisfy their credits. So the net proceeds sa lahat-lahat ng properties ni Max Payne is only 1.5 million pesos. So Max Payne is still liable to pay the balance of 500,000 pesos. Unless there is stipulation, the assignment should be full satisfaction of her debt. So before we distinguish the difference between dation in payment and payment by cession, let's define first what is dation in payment. Dation in payment is a special form of payment whereby another thing is alienated by the debtor to the creditor who accept it as equivalent of payment upon existing debt in money. Difference between dation in payment and payment by cession. First, in dation, there is usually only one creditor, while in cession, there are several creditors. Second, in dation does not presuppose the insolvency of the debtor or a situation of financial difficulties, while in cession, the debtor is insolvent at the time of assignment. Third, dation does not involve all the properties of the debtor, while in cession extend to all the property of the debtor subject to execution. Fourth, in dation, the creditors become the owner of the thing given by the debtor, while in cession, the creditors only acquire the right to sell the thing and apply the proceeds to their credits. And lastly, in dation is really an act of novation, while in cession is not act of novation. Both are substitute form of payment or performance. They are governed by the law on sales.